Welcome back to the Newcomers podcast, people, where I explore what it means to be an immigrant with immigrants like myself. Today, I'm talking to Mher Mardoyan, who's a career coach. He's been coaching immigrants looking for jobs for the past 8 to 7 years. And what he does here is he basically shares his process for helping people find jobs. I feel like I should just get straight to it. Because if you're job hunting right now, this is really, 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 really helpful. Enjoy. You've been coaching immigrants for how long now?
7 to 8 years now.
7 to 8 years.
Yes.
I think let me even go straight to the deep end, which is the bad part, which is, I think, what are the biggest mistakes you see, especially new people to Canada make
Mhm.
when they're job hunting? Because it feels like I do think that Canada needs to do some work in
Yes.
terms of, making it much easier for newcomers and all
Mhm.
that stuff.
Yes.
But I think the other part is like, what are the mistakes we make that make it harder for us already when we're trying to get a job? Yeah.
I would say it's the mindset.
Mm.
Um, I feel that, again, this is my point of view. When immigrants come, they feel that everything should be handed to them easily. Or if someone is asking you, yes, I can help you, but it will cost you money. Nothing is free.
Yeah.
So I think it comes to the mindset. Once they shift their mindset that, yeah, I'm investing, I left my country, I left my family, and I'm coming here, I'm trying to build a future. It might have difficult days or times, but if there are free stuff, don't get me wrong, there are a
Yeah.
lot of government agencies that are offering free stuff, there are a lot of free sessions. But I feel that if you want someone that can hold you accountable and establish results fast or establish that works for you specifically, there should be kind of a cost involved where it comes with the coaching. So when I meet with people for the first time, I give overview of tips or strategies, advices that this is what I see that you can do. If you want the free stuff, one, two, three. If you want paid stuff, if you want someone to hold you accountable, reestablish, I have my packages and I'm adjusting to you. But it comes with the mindset that everything should be handed to them for free. And when I came 12 years ago, I would say maybe I was also in that mindset, but I also knew that nothing is for free. There
Yeah.
are things that you need to really work on it and make it work.
Yeah. I want to. I was my first reaction, honestly, was I was going to give an excuse.
Hmm.
I was going to say I just moved to a new country and I don't have
Mhm.
money.
Yeah, yeah,
But I quickly held myself back because I said that's probably an excuse. I'm giving an excuse for myself because there are things that should be paid for and there are things that should be free. And I
yes.
think what I started thinking about again as you were talking, it was just kind of this thought that was going through my head was something I was thinking about some days ago when I was driving back from school runs, and I was thinking about how there are certain things that they somehow can't be taught because, or they can't be taught in big groups
Hmm.
because they are really mindset shifts. And more often than not, in big groups, it feels like if someone tries to teach that, it starts to sound like woo woo ha ha. Like it just sounds very up in
Generic.
the yeah, because literally to teach in a big group, you kind of make it generic. And then
Yeah,
in doing that, it misses out on the real value it brings to the person,
yeah,
And I feel like,
yeah,
and which is why when you said mindset, I'm like that, because
yeah.
I'm like, this is something I've been thinking about, that there are things that you need to be taught through them.
Yeah. When I was 12 years ago, when I came to Canada, I was in government agencies and they were giving classes. But in that class, there were people younger than me, older than me, English good, English bad, one in the oil industry, one in marketing, one in HR. So Yes, you can say generally this has to be, but you need one-on-one with them. And usually, case managers are very limited with their one-on-one
Yes.
times. Don't get me wrong, they're very much in need. It's very good. But if you want to step up a little bit and push yourself and get job faster or quicker, there are other ways that you can do. And just think of it, yes, you left your country, you came here, you have limited resources, but there are ways that some coaches are doing. I tell people, okay, let's work with your budget, or you can pay me in installments. There are options, but it comes to the mindset. When the mindset is changed and you can see the future, I think that's the key that will help the immigrants.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there are people who probably struggle to afford it, which is why I like the idea that you say let's even reduce the like let's work with your budget or let's pay installmentally.
Mhm.
And I would even dare say that with the government, maybe it's worth even having a conversation and saying
Mhm.
maybe it's time we took a look at how we run our immigration settlement systems
Mhm.
and ask, are they really working? I mean, I know
Yeah,
I'm probably going to make enemies with this, and people will probably look at
yeah.
this and go like, "Yeah, why? What do you mean by that?" But the
Mhm.
question is it really working? Because I mean, there's some immigration settlements, especially within the career space, that I've seen,
Yeah.
and I go like, I'm sorry, like I refuse to step into any of those classes because I was like, you all don't have anything for me.
Mhm.
There's nothing you're doing in there that's going to help me. I
Yeah.
don't need someone to show me how to write my CV.
Yeah.
I need someone to look at my CV and say, how does this CV fit the role you're looking for? And what adjustments do you need to make to it? Or like, not help me.
Mm.
I need to write a Canadian CV. What is a Canadian CV?
Yeah. Canadian CV, there's no pictures, there's no date of birth, there's no marriage status. It's very plain. I would say over the last 12 years, I have seen some organizations are prepping immigrants before they arriving here. They are telling about the difference of the CV and resume. They are telling about how to network. They are telling about LinkedIn. If I want to give two advices or strategies for immigrants before coming here is first to know how to network, and second to have a good LinkedIn account and be active before arriving, because those two things will help you, will prepare you. Again, 12 years ago when I came here, I didn't know anything about LinkedIn and networking. It took me some time to get kind of an expert and give advices now. But I feel that those two are very important to know in and out. And the other advice I tell immigrants or people I'm helping is that when you are networking, it's a two-way communication. And at the beginning, you cannot just knock a door, say, hey, I'm a new immigrant, I need a job, can you help me? Which I have done it. At the beginning, I was like, I need a job now. It doesn't work that way. Imagine going to a bank, opening a bank account, and withdrawing from day one. Your bank account is zero, right? Your bank account is zero. If you withdraw, it's like minus 20, minus 30. You
Yeah.
need to invest in that relationship. How I'm going to invest? I see that Dozy is posting something. I make a comment, a good comment. Or I see an article and I know that Dozy is doing with the new immigrants. I sent him, hey, I read this article. I thought about you. Or reshare whatever you are posting on LinkedIn. That's how you're going to build relationship. Now, some immigrants might say that, but I need a job now. And I know that Dozy is hiring now. Why I cannot go ask him to hire me? Why I need to wait 6 months to build this relationship and go later asking for a help? Because people help people they know,
Yes.
they trust. I don't know you. Why I need to help you? That again, it comes to the mindset why people should help immigrants from day one. I hear everyone is in need of job. Everyone, expectation are coming that they're finding a job. But the reality is that there are other people or many other people. They are looking for a job. And the other part in the networking is the hidden job market that some immigrants didn't know. I didn't know about that. That sometimes in some industries, I know that in the tech industry, people know each other. Even
Yeah.
before a job is out, they know that, oh, I know this guy. Okay, I will hire him. But let me post this job because legally I need to post. And then all other people feel that they need to, they will
Apply
get
for
the
it.
job, but they already have someone in mind. And recent studies are saying that for every one job, there is like 400 or 500 applicants. And out
Yeah.
of that, only 2% are being interviewed, which is 8 people. Out of the 8, 1 person will be hired. So the chances of you getting hired or interview traditionally is through job applying is very low. That's why networking comes higher. Again, the statistics say that by networking or referrals, chances of getting hired is 70% compared to traditional, which is 30%.
Yeah.
That's why they need to keep networking. And there are ways, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you on that. Yeah, the mindset one thing, the mindset thing you say,
Hmm.
because I know that there's a lady I spoke to. Her name is Gabriela Casineno. She's from
Hmm.
Romania, and she talks about how the mistake people make a lot is that immigrants,
Yeah.
and I hate that I'm saying the word mistakes. People don't like to hear that, but again, it's a mistake people make. Is that we move here and we think we should keep doing things the way we used to do them before. Which again is that mindset thing, is that you feel entitled that
Hmm.
because back home you were crushing it and you assume that once you move here you're going to crush it, and then till you're punched in the face, then you now realize that, okay, I have to change a lot of things about myself or
Yeah.
how I see the world for me to make it work here, or else I'm just going to struggle for a pretty long time before things work out for me.
I mean, there is kind of an unconscious bias from employers towards immigrants. I've seen it a little bit change, but still, there's a lot of struggles I see from people, especially let's say older generations. They're coming here or they're doing their masters, and then suddenly, they might be even overqualified, or sometimes the hiring manager or the recruiter is younger than them and you don't know how they perceive you. So there's so many moving parts. So that's why the networking comes very essential to building those relationships. And again,
Hmm.
the other part I tell people is you need to have a strategy and you need to have a schedule. You cannot spend every day in front of the computer, apply, 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 apply. That doesn't work. What I help with people I'm helping is that Monday morning, I'm going to comment 10 comments on companies that I want to work. Monday afternoon, I'm going to read a book. Tuesday morning, I'm going to apply. Tuesday afternoon, I'm going to go for a coffee with someone. Maybe Wednesday morning, I'm going to take time off, go to a gym, recharge outside, and then afternoon, read a podcast or hear a podcast or something. Tuesday morning, Thursday morning, I'll go to another 10 comments and then I apply. Friday, maybe I will write a comment or write a post on LinkedIn. Saturday, Sunday, time off because your mind also needs to recharge.
Yeah.
If you have that schedule and you tick everything, and even small things you need to celebrate, you applied for a job, you got a phone interview, you did an interview, it means that you are being valued, it means that your resume is in demand. So having that schedule is very important and it helps.
Hmm. I really like what you said before this when you broke down the scale. The thing you talked about older people and the unconscious bias, and
Mhm.
because if there was one reason why you should network, it's that.
Yeah. And the ATS, how you can cross the
Yeah, the
ATS.
ATS or the ATSs. I don't know what to
I
say
have
on
a
that thing.
friend. That's another story. I have a friend now. He's in the States. He's age 62. He's been unemployed. I have two friends. One is been unemployed for almost 10 months. One other one for maybe like 6 months. They've been getting interviews. They're getting there, but they're not crossing because you don't know. Either they are looking for younger people, or even they are looking for we don't know what. So that's why I tell him cracking the hiring code through ATS, we cannot. We don't know if an employee is looking for which criteria. Although it's mentioned on the resume or in the job posting that we want 5 years experience, we want this, this, that. and you have like 30 years experience, you have 10 years experience, who knows what they are. So the networking part comes in hand. That's how I landed my first job in Canada. It took me 9 months of constantly networking every day, every week. Although there were some weeks like I am tired, this is not going to work, but eventually it did work because I met someone who knew someone, they were hiring. They just put my resume on top of the rest, and then I was interviewed, and then the rest was on me. But you just need that push to put a resume on top. Now, some companies are also offering referral bonuses. So
Yeah.
if I know Dozy, I will refer Dozy and then I'll get money. But they cannot refer someone they don't know. That's
Yeah.
why you need to build that relationship and then ask, hey, you guys are hiring. Can you refer me? Can you help me?
Hmm. Yeah. Just curious, if you, the past 8 years in your coaching career, what's your hit rate like? Like in terms of people you've
Hmm.
coached in the past 8 years, like how many,
Yes.
what percentage of them go on to get jobs? That's the first question.
Hmm.
And then the ones that struggle, what do you think is the thing they do, or do you think you sense, aside from
Yeah.
mindset, like what do you think they struggle with that kind of holds them back?
I would say I had 90% success from the clients that I was helping. Majority of them found a job in their field. Some of them were being interviewed while we were coaching. We did a mock interview session with them. There was only one person, I would say, he wasn't being successful in finding a job, and the reason was where he was living. So limited networking opportunities where he was, or it was limited job opportunities also, and he was wanting very specific. Although there were job posts in his field, we tried to network. He tried to attend events. He tried to even interviewed, but it didn't work for some reason, and that could happen. And that's why I tell my client that I cannot guarantee you 100%, but I had success before. And if you follow this, it should be working. If someone tells me that I've been applying for 100 jobs and I didn't get any interview, so definitely something is wrong with your resume. If you got interviews, it means that your resume is good, but we can look at it and maybe we can work on your interview skills. We can work on how to tell your stories. There are some people who has now no LinkedIn presence, and I tell them you're a ghost. As you interview, as you do research for employers, employers are also researching you. The first thing a recruiter does when he sees a resume, oh, I like this person. Let me check him on LinkedIn. If there's no one, there's no picture, there's no nothing, we'll be like, ah, I'll go to the next one. There's so many fish, or there's so many applicants, right? So
Hmm.
that's why networking, LinkedIn are the top two things I tell people. The other things I also teach them is that applying for a job should be a last resort. So there are 7 steps that I teach in my career coaching. The first one is identifying your values. It's important to know who you are, what kind of companies you want to work, what kind of boss you want to work. It's important to identify your values. Second is how to stay positive during job search. As we mentioned earlier, those strategies, have
Yeah.
a plan in place, go out. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to go outside, take time off. The third one is I tell them is about LinkedIn, how to use LinkedIn in your job search. And then will be about how to network, how to create content, how to stay positive, as I mentioned. And it's important also to have a whole strategic vision when you are applying for a job. You cannot
Yeah.
say, "Oh, today I need to apply for a job," or "I should comment today." You cannot do those things. It has to be strategic. You cannot just go, okay, here and there.
Yeah.
The other one I would say is how to tell your story, because everyone has a story, everyone has work, and most of the time in the interviews they will they will ask you, tell me about a time you work in a group, tell me about the time you had to deal with a difficult person. So those are the important things that you need to develop. The other thing is that creating content, it took me at the beginning 1 hour to say 1 minute word. Now it's become very natural for me to speak. So that's why I tell them every Friday, every Monday, whatever day you want, post something on LinkedIn. Don't be obsessed about likes or comment. I didn't have zero likes. I don't have any comment. But you need to put that content out. That's how it's going to differentiate you. That's how they will know about yourself, your authentic self, your thoughts before even getting an interview.
Hmm. Those are really good tips, especially for someone who's looking to get hired. I think we're rounding up now. I think just probably one question, the last question I have for you, and is built is following up on what you said about yourself, because I found that interesting. For people who struggle, because it does feel like a big part of the job hunt these days is building a personal brand, like in some way, like you kind of have to put yourself out there. For people who kind of struggle with that, like you just don't like it, you don't want to do it, like you don't want to put yourself out there, you don't want to go on video, you don't want to go on podcast, you don't want to talk, but then you have to, because
Yeah.
if you don't, then like you said, you're a ghost.
Yeah.
How do you kind of learn to overcome that anxiety and fear and self-doubt muscle and start posting? Because it feels like the way you describe yourself, it feels like you were at some point doing that at some point, like you had to kind of overcome that too.
Yeah.
So interesting to
There
hear
were days that I was posting so much. I was so stressed that I'm posting so much. No, for my interviews, I took time off. I had a burnt out. I was like, this is too much. I can't handle it. But again, remember, I had a job. So this I was doing the broadcasting and YouTube on a side. What I would say is it's okay not to be okay. Take time off from everything, as I said, applying or networking, everything. Just sit down and do an evaluation about yourself, which is the first thing I teach everyone, is that knowing your values. There are a lot of free stuff or free assessment online that you can do, and it will tell you these are some of the jobs that you'll be good, or these are some of your strengths, or these are some of your values, and write it down. Write down what kind of job I want. Do I want online? Do I want office? Do I want near my house, away my house? What kind of job, what kind of boss I want? Micromanaging, not micromanaging, freedom. So once you do kind of a SWOT analysis about yourself, what is your strength? What is your weaknesses? What are some opportunities out there? What are some of the threats that I'm not getting my job? And how I can eliminate and how I can increase step by step. Again, there are some people out there that can help you. Speaking with someone, if you're struggling, especially mental health and everything, there are a lot of people that can help you. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Especially sometimes from Middle Eastern countries, asking for help can be, it's not for me, I'm not used to, or I cannot cry, I'm a man, it doesn't work. You need to ask help if you're struggling. Again, as I said, it's okay not to be okay, but there are people out there that can help you. Take time off, reevaluate. If it's something you're doing and it's not working, change it, because it's not working for a while.
job hunting.
Yeah.
Like they
It's
say,
a
it's a job.
cycle. It's a cycle, and it can be difficult. And the other thing I tell people that I'm helping, once you found a job, please, please, please don't stop networking. Make sure that you keep networking, because we don't know what the future is holding. We are hearing a lot of layoffs out of the sudden. So if you haven't been networking and if you haven't been posting or commenting, building relationship, out of the sudden you'll be like, oh, I didn't do anything for 10 years. I don't know how. So that's why I keep network. I keep build relationship. That's how we met. We didn't
Yeah,
met in person yet. We network, we talk, we chatted on LinkedIn, and here we are
doing a podcast.
doing a conversation, doing a podcast.
Yeah,
But you
yeah,
need to make sure you know what makes you happy. And there are, as I said, there are a lot of free stuff. People can go to my YouTube channel. All the 7 steps that I've talked about, it's all there. They're all playlists about how to stay positive, how to use LinkedIn, how to build a strong personal brand, content creation, networking, values. It's all there by experts or recruiters, hiring manager. They are giving you, this is what they're looking for. Watch them, try to implement. And if you need more extra help, I am just a click away. You can ask me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, again, sorry, I was going to end it here, but just one more question. It feels like job hunting right now is extremely hard. Like, it feels like it's really hard, especially now.
It's
The
very
economy,
competitive out there.
yeah, it's really competitive. What's the one tip you would give someone to kind of stand out?
Know your stories and tell them. Tell them
Oh.
on your LinkedIn, tell them in your cover letter, tell them on your resume. At the beginning, I was struggling to tell my story. Once I got used to, there were days that I used to get a phone call. Can we do a phone interview now? Sure, let's do it. Before I was like, oh no, give me some time. So once you become comfortable about telling your stories, telling who you are, what can you add value to the company?
Mm.
That's what it stands out, because what employers are looking for, how can you help me solve a problem? And I would say, if you can tell them in your stories that you helped your company save time, add money, and profit, you'll be in demand. So as long as you can talk about how I can save you time, how I can save you money, and I add profit, that's what will make you different.
Hmm. Thank you. Thank you, Mher. Thank
No,
you.
thank you for having me.
Oh, this was good. This was really good. Thank you so much. Know your story and tell it well. I think that's really good advice, and I agree with that a lot, because I remember when my wife was job hunting, and I remember telling her that just listening to your interviews, it's so clear that you know your story right now. You're telling it well. I think you're going to start getting offers soon. She got 3 offers in 2 weeks. So yeah, know your story and tell it well. And that your story should, like you said, that your story, take one thing, it should either save time, save costs, or bring profit. But yeah, thanks for getting to this point of the podcast. Thank you so much. Like, as always, I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. If you know someone who finds this useful, please send to them. If you know someone who I should talk to, just hit reply, send me an email, reach me on LinkedIn. We're on Substack, YouTube, anywhere you get your podcasts, you will find us. Just type the Newcomers. Ciao.